Well, hello everybody. Welcome to this business plan page, and I'm excited about this. I would tell you guys this is probably one of the most important sections of the training here because it's really it's the foundation. All right, it's the foundation. Every successful business started out with a business plan. I read in Success Magazine a few months ago that some people literally take 2 years to write the business plan. And they end up writing pretty much a book, a whole manual on what they plan to achieve with this whole thing. Now, I know some business kind of get started from an idea and starts rolling from there, but ultimately, you got to have a plan in place. If you don't have a plan in place, then how do you know where you're going, right? And that's how a lot of home-based business entrepreneurs go, is that they just kind of get in and they get all excited and they think, okay, I'm going to just start doing something and I'll be here, right? So here's what I want you to do. I want you to click on this button down here where it says your dreams and the business game plan to achieve them. I want you to click on this. I'm just going to go run right through this, but I want you to go ahead and I want you to think about it yourself. Okay. As a matter of fact, I don't have a lot of time, so I just want to run through this, but I want you to read this and I want you to print it. Okay. And then post it in front of your, behind your monitor so where you can see it every day or whatnot, okay? All you have to do to print it is right click and you should see a print button there. Click print and it should take you to the printer, okay? If you don't have a printer, well, guess what? Just go through this and maybe write down this each section, okay? But I encourage you to print it out and fill it out there. I'm not really sure if you can fill this out here and they'll save it for you. I don't know. I'm under the admin page here. As a matter of fact, let me open this up over here. See what happens. Yeah, I don't think you can save it though. All right, well, anyway, I'm just going to go through this right now. Right? Let's start with this. First of all, foremost, do you have the heart and desire to change your current lifestyle? Well, I guess you wouldn't be here if you don't, right? So make sure you click on that. And then I want you to, there's this section here that says, what does your dream lifestyle look like? Now, I want you to think about this in 3 different ways. All right? I want you to think about the first 90 days. What do you want to, how'd you like, would be a dream for you to achieve in the next 90 days? Maybe it's the dream that you can add an extra couple $1,000s a month to your lifestyle. Maybe it's and then I want you to think about the 1 year. What would be your dream lifestyle a year from now? Maybe you're going, man, if I could, it would be a dream for me if I could just add $5,000 a month into my cash flow already. All right. Maybe that's, and I personally like to go from bare minimum, nominal, but really this is what I want to achieve and that's what I shoot for. Okay, so what it is, like right now we have a 90-day plan to going from $15 a month to making $6,000 a month. That's a 90-day plan. That's a good dream right there, right? Most people in the home-based business industry never make $6,000 a month in 90 days, let alone in a year, some of them 5 years, let alone in 90 days. So that obviously takes serious focus and commitment, right? But what would be your dream lifestyle a year from now? What would be your ultimate lifestyle? Meaning, this is when you're finally comfortable. Now, obviously, you can keep growing from there, but you feel, okay, I'm here and I've reached where I want my life right now. Obviously, I got bigger goals, but this is where I'm fairly happy once I start reaching this. Now, happiness is not, to me personally, happiness is not when you get there. Happiness is the process of getting there. To me, all right? So what does your dream lifestyle? What kind of home? Your ultimate goal, let's say 2 years or 5 years from now. Would you like to have $1 million home? Would you like to have a second home somewhere? How about the kind of cars you'd like to have? What kind of vacations? I like material things as a motivation, but, it kind of gets me excited about doing it. But ultimately, the reason behind it is really the back-end goal of security and providing for my family. I'm not going to go after the $1 million home if I'm going to find myself stretching debt load. All right. I want it to be able to do it on a comfortable situation. How many vacations a year would you like to have? Any other dreams? How about this? Maybe some of you like the neighborhood that you want. Some of you like the house that you live in. You're fairly comfortable. But your dream is to have maybe $1 million of liquid asset available to you at any time. Having a $5 to $10 million retirement account by the time you're 50 or 60 or 5 years from now, whatever it is, or 10 years from now, whatever it is, okay? Maybe the dream that you're actually generating a 6-digit income from investment returns. So really you don't, and you have business ownerships that, you don't really have to be part of building it anymore. You just own the companies and everybody else is building it. You're kind of just managing and keeping an eye on it. Okay. You can accomplish that through here. What does your dream day look like? Okay. What's your day should look like? How would you like to wake up? Are you relaxing with breakfast and coffee with your spouse, maybe on the deck at 9:30 in the morning? Or are you rushing off to a job? How many hours a day do you want to work? Okay, because if you understand outsourcing and automation, you can really achieve great things. Learning the value of your time versus the money that you're willing to pay $2 because you're going to make $10 for that $2. All right, things like that nature. How would you spend the rest of your time? Playing golf, hanging out with your kids, doing things with your spouse? What is it? Or maybe you're learning more and you're expanding your mind, whatever it is, right? How much monthly income would it take to have that lifestyle? Now, with this, I want to talk to you about your 90-day goal, your 1-year goal income, and then the ultimate lifestyle, right? I always like to think that the ultimate lifestyle, not the ultimate, the lifestyle where you feel like I'm there, I know I'm still going to reach more, but this is comfortable. Personally, what I've seen is that I personally believe, especially with a young family and all that you have to have $100,000 per adult in the household plus $50,000 per kid, right? In my household, I've got 3 kids. So a $350,000 lifestyle, I want you to think about this. To a lot of you, that sounds like a lot of money. But if you really think about living right and living comfortably, that's about what it would take to be able to drive a decent car and not getting into debt to doing it. All right? Meaning you're buying a $40,000, $50,000 car, or more, or a nice car, but you're actually either paying cash for it or you have investment that's paying for it. Okay, the lease or the monthly payment on it is being paid by the investment return, so it's not really costing you any money. To where those kind of things, right? So I want you to think about what would be that kind of house, the car, the vacations. Okay, what kind of monthly income would it require to live that decent lifestyle? Okay, I personally like I said, to me, a decent lifestyle. I mean, you can go on vacations at good quality vacations. You're not getting the super fancy vacations, but you can get a pretty good vacation. If you're making a $300,000, $350,000, $250,000 to $350,000, you can go on decent vacations. You can have a decent house. But you know what? I just read even on Yahoo News. $100,000 a year, you guys, is basically barely living nowadays. Look at it. How much are new cars today that are just regular everyday car, from a Ford Taurus to Honda Accord? I mean, we're talking $25,000, right? For a decent car. I mean, we're talking 15 to 25. Look at, at least in Seattle area, I mean, the average home here is still in the 400,000 to 500,000. I live in Redmond where Microsoft is, and you can't find a decent home for under, especially a brand new home. I don't find a brand new home for under $600,000-$700,000. Okay, and they're not big. They're like 2,500 square feet. Okay, so depending where you live and how much, what kind of income would it take to live the lifestyle of your dreams in your area, to where you're comfortable. You want to continually grow, but what kind of income level would it take to start really taking care of yourself and your family? All right. Then here's really important now, because now we're going to go deep. Can you actually see yourself reaching that financial goal? It's called belief. Okay? You have to believe that you can. That is a big block for a lot of people. Okay? Even though you might be excited outside and all that, deep inside, do you really feel that you will reach that financial goal? And you know what? That will be answered because, are you committed to the game plan and reaching that goal? That's a big deal. Oh, what? Yeah, we want this lifestyle, so we want this stuff. Now the question is, are you committed to it? Oh yeah, I want to make $6,000 a month in 90 days. Yes, are you committed to it? All right. So, and now I'm going to start getting real here. Okay. Now that I'm not being real, now we're going to go deep here about how serious are you about reaching goals? So, are you committed to following this game plan that we're going to put together to reaching that goal? If you said yes, then here's one more question. Who besides you is going to benefit from you reaching this goal? Like I said, I like to talk a lot about material things. I love cars. I love fancy things. But to me, that's just a motivation to get me going. But the ultimate goal for me in the back end of that is really first and foremost to take care of my family. I owe my wife so much, man. My wife is so incredible that I owe her an incredible secured lifestyle. Not, I mean, in the next 12 months, I want her to feel so secure that she's not going to worry about our future anymore. That she's not going to worry about, are we going to be struggling in the future? Is the economy going to affect us again like it did in this last few years? Because this economy have hit me so hard, and reinventing my life has been a really big deal, right? And what's cool though is we've achieved good things and great things back then because of this economic turmoil. I believe we're going to do 10 times better. Okay, and we did really well, but I'm shooting to do 10 times better just in the next 2 years to 3 years than what we've ever done in the past 20 years. So it's going to take a lot of work and a lot of faith and commitment, right? But who besides you is going to benefit from it? Now, here we go. Now this is the test of how serious you are about reaching some goals. How much time are you willing to commit for training and marketing for your business to accomplish these goals that we just talked about, that you just claimed that you want to have? Okay? Now, some of you may only have 30 minutes a day to an hour a day to get started. That's okay. All right? Just know that certain goals may take a little bit longer, especially if you're completely brand new. I'm not going to try and tell you, oh yeah, no problem, you'll achieve that. There's certain things that you'll have to understand and accept the fact, because I'm not going to hype you. This is real, okay? Now, if you've got 30 minutes to an hour, I'll be honest with you, you'll probably want to make sure the second thing you have something of a startup capital. Now, I know with NMSS, you can get started as little as $15. Here's the way I look at it, okay? You're either going to spend if you don't have a lot of time, then you better make sure that you're focused on putting a little bit more investment into building your business for marketing. Now, I know so many people have jumped around. Okay, before I get off the subject, let me go through the third one first. How much marketing budget can you fork out of your pocket initially to start paying for your marketing? Now, one of the things, especially with NMSS, because you get paid immediately and you get paid directly, and you have a low startup cost and all that, and I'm going to talk about this based on a plan, but I would suggest for your marketing budget, especially if you're just trying to get your business off the ground, unless you really, really need the funds that comes out of your part-time business right now, I would suggest reinvesting at least 50% to 100% of your initial income back into marketing to get it going. But I want you to think about this, okay? Time. If you're really serious about building something. Now, I'm not talking if you just want to make a few $100s a month to maybe $1,000 a month a year from now, okay? You can get away with that with just spending about 30 minutes to an hour a day and not putting a lot of money into it, okay? Startup capital. What do you start your business with? Think business, you guys. I mean, I'm not trying to say this as to ridicule anybody, but guys, a traditional bit. I purchased a business with my partner, and although she did most of the work and she did pretty much everything there, but we bought a business for $125,000, and we walked in with a $15,000 a month overhead. And we're talking 3 employees, a little small office, okay? But $15,000 a month overhead. You can start a home-based business for $15. But understand that doesn't mean that automatically going to guarantee your success. The more money that you can get started with, the better income potential you can have. All right? Now here's where the people make a mistake. They buy into this big big business cost, but then they don't leave themselves a marketing budget. How many of you, and you don't have to claim it in front of everybody, but how many of you had started, joined multiple businesses and you paid out, $50, $100, $200, $500, and how many of you have joined multiple businesses but you've never paid money for marketing, like leads or traffic, or even take the time to understand that? You have to have a marketing budget. Every successful business invests in their marketing, right? Unfortunately, you know what? For a long time, I never learned the value of that. I was always taught to kind of try and do it. And in that cheap mentality, I'm thinking, oh, I don't want to spend money. But realize it's an investment. A lot of times, investing into your business, especially in marketing, you might not make that month, but what you're building is your database that's going to turn into high percentage return, right? Now, the cool thing about NMSS is that the marketing budget that you put in, a lot of times it pays for itself right off the bat because of the low cost. I mean, I've personally seen it. I can't guarantee it, but I've seen it that every time I've spent maybe $20 or $30, I find myself making $15, $30 on that money. Now, it may not immediately that time, but usually within a couple of days or a week, it happens. The important thing for me was building the leads, right? So marketing budget. Now, here's the thing where I want to make sure that you start understanding what it really takes to start generating it. You need to understand your numbers. Okay, how many sales a month do you need to make to achieve that goal? Now, if your income is based on upfront sales and a team sales, then you need to understand your numbers. Most people don't understand the numbers. If you want to make $2,000 a month, what would it take? How many people would it take? How many personal sales a day would you need to take for how long to grow that business, right? So you need to understand your number. Look at this. I'll give you an example with NMSS, and I'm going to use this example because we're here for NMSS. With NMSS, we've got a startup cost of $15 a month. And then you have the pass-ups and things like that. But let's just say, as an example, let's say we didn't have any pass-ups, and you just, if you just make 2 sales a day, now they're subscriptions, okay? 2 sales a day of a $15 membership. How hard is it to sell a $15 membership about online marketing and tools to people that are looking to make money out there, and also maybe they're building another business and you're providing them with tools that will help them? $15, you guys. So what if you can make 2 sales a day? That's $30 a day. Now that doesn't sound like a lot, and people go, oh man, it seems like a work, and then all I made is $30. Well, $30 a day times 30 days is what? $900 a month. Okay? What if you do that for 90 days? You just focus on generating 2 sales a day. You do whatever, and you've got the marketing strategy, you do 2 sales a day. Guys, in 3 months, if you didn't get any pass-ups and you just did 2 sales a day, that's $2,700 a month. Let's just say you have a 25% cancellation rate. Okay? You're still making between $1,800 to $2,000 a month on $15 sales. Okay? 2 sales a day. So what does that mean? What would you need to know your numbers. Now we've got a team concept here and a passive system. So what if you made 2 sales, 4 sales a week or 5 sales a week, 1 sale a day, and you focus on that. Just imagine. Now I'll tell you what. I mean, the ideal focus is that if you want to make, especially here, just based on experience, because you're going to have people upgrading and all that. But so you just start focusing on just getting people started on the low end, and it can easily go up, especially if you communicate with them and work with them. Here's the thing I'll tell you, okay? The more interpersonal interaction that you do, the better your chances of closing and having people more committed to being part of your team, okay? Now, this is online marketing, so you don't have to, but just understand when you're not willing to interact as a person and be more interactive with them, even just on a digital basis. What I mean by digital, through Facebook, through email, chatting online and stuff like that. But how cool is it? I mean, if you're not willing to build relationship with your database, okay, through communication, whether digital or interpersonal, just know for a fact that you'll have to go through a lot more numbers to maintain a certain level of income. But if you develop leadership and communication and relationship, and you build trust, then guess what? More people are going to stick around, be excited to continually introduce your products, your system with NMSS, and it'll keep your business growing. All right. So write down the numbers. Okay. So make sure you go through that. Now, here's another question. Are you willing to do whatever it takes to position yourself to earn a maximum income per sale so you can reach your goals as fast? Now, here's the thing, okay? NMSS starts out at 15. Right now, during pre-launch, we've got our top end is, my goodness, $55. I don't think most home-based businesses out there start at $100, all right? Here, $55, you make $45 commissions, and then you've got passives that happen. You can generate, three pass-ups every six sales. I mean, that's pretty incredible, and it just keeps growing that way. All right, think about that. Are you committed to and willing to upgrade as soon as you can so that you can raise your income level? So again, let me go back. How much time? How much startup capital? And how much monthly budget are you willing to fork out of your pocket to keep it growing? Even if let's just say, especially if you're just, taking any immediate income that you generate and putting it back, maybe you can add another, $50 or $100, because every time you add more, it just grows. I'm not saying buy more business opportunities, buy more traffic, buy more customers. Okay. So understand the power of that. Now, there's a lot of things that are committed, that are part of your daily action plan. We're going to go through everything is a little bit different, but it really comes down to ultimately, for long-term success online, you want to learn how to write a blog or create a video daily. Okay. You do some personal development. You've got mindset and personal development, and then marketing. Okay. You're driving traffic, generating leads. And then the other part is leadership. Leadership is communicating with your downline, communicating with your customers, communicating the people in your business, the people that gets passed up to you. Treat them like a personal. Okay? If you take the time to treat people that are passed up to you as a personal sponsor, personal sale, that sale will stick with you and stay with their subscription. And if you help those sales generate more sales, then you will earn income. You know why I created a compensation plan, and I used the compensation plan to where you don't stop giving up to the sponsor? Because as a sponsor, you feel responsible to making sure that they continually grow, because it's worth it to you, because you'll continually benefit from helping them. Okay? And you want to make sure that you deserve the income that you're generating. Okay? So if you do that, and that's part of the plan that I'm going to teach you and get you to a point where you're blogging or creating videos. Why blogging, creating videos? Those are long-term feeders out there. Every time you create a blog, every time you create a video, it's like you're sponsoring and generating a sale that's going to look for more sales for you. Okay? Powerful. Personal development. Okay? You want to make sure that you're developing yourself. Marketing. 80%, 75 to 80% of your time that you spent building a business should be on marketing. Now, I'll tell you, for those of you that have only 30 minutes to an hour, consider that as time for focusing on your marketing. But be willing to spend a few more minutes a day doing the other things like personal development and all that. But marketing and leadership, you put that into it, guys, you can be really, really successful. Okay? So in summary, this is your ultimate game plan. Make sure that you follow it. I want you to take the time to really, this should take you actually half an hour to an hour to really do if you take it seriously. But I know some of you are just ready to get going. I just want to start making money. I just want to start advertising. And that's cool, but make sure you go back to this and you get this in place. All right? Talk to you soon. Have a great one. Bye-bye.